It's time again for Taste, the 9th annual celebration of regional cuisine happening at the Picton Fairgrounds. And joining us is one of the exhibitors you can find there. It's a beautiful vineyard called Sugarbush Vineyard, not far from us here in Ottawa. Robert Peck joins us from Sugarbush Vineyards. Welcome to the show,
Hi,
Robert. It's
Hi.
great to have you here.
Thanks.
We absolutely love food. We love wine on this show, and this is something that if nobody's been to taste before, it's a wonderful celebration of both, isn't it?
It is. It's an amazing event where basically all the wineries and all the restaurants and other artisans are coming together. So there are all the really high-end restaurants. There's cheese makers, bread makers, other artisans like glass blowers there as well as all the wineries. So it's a nice place to come and sample a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Rob, both of us had a chance to read a bit about you, and your story is so intriguing because, you know, what people don't know about you is you really lead a double life. You lead this sort of high-tech life here in Ottawa, and then you are surrounded by beautiful vineyards in Picton. Tell us about how you got all of this started.
Well, I grew up on a farm in Prince Edward County. At that point in time, 30 years ago, it was very barren. There weren't very many things going on there, and so I got an education to make sure that I never ended up on a farm.
Yeah.
And, that basically brought me to Ottawa. So I work for a
Right.
high-tech company here, but my passion really is winemaking, and I've really realized over the last 25 years that I prefer to work outside than behind a desk.
Yes.
So I'm growing my winery really slowly so that I can eventually retire from engineering. That is the goal.
Congratulations.
I
Good
like
for
that.
you.
That's very
Talk
nice.
about that process of starting a vineyard. How does one go about it?
Well, it's really quite slow. Like first you need to find the right land. You need to have a little bit of capital because when you first plant your grapes, it's basically 3 or 4 years of labor before you get any grapes
Sure.
off them at
Yeah.
all.
Really?
And
Okay.
so it's a really
And then you have to wait years before those grapes become a bottle that you can drink.
Absolutely. So I mean, from planting to maybe your first bottle might be 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow, you have to have patience, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And then you never know. Mother Nature always throws little curveballs as
I
well.
bet it does.
So
This year must have been a good one.
this year has been fantastic. We've had really consistently warm weather, rain at all the right times. And so this is probably, I would argue, the best harvest
Wow, great.
that Prince Edward County has ever had.
Excellent.
Rob,
Congratulations.
you mentioned that, you know, one of the things is finding that perfect spot. What is it about Prince Edward County that makes the soil so fruitful?
Well, the soil that most of the wineries are on is a clay limestone, and so it's very shallow. It's 18 inches to 24 inches thick, but it's got fractured limestone in it, and it drains very, very well. So
Okay.
the most important thing for vines is to have dry roots. And so
Okay.
that's very important. Prince Edward County, because of its situation in the lake, also has a bit of lake effect. So when Ottawa is getting pounded with rain, we're actually quite dry. So
Okay.
we've had very, very little rain this year, but at the right times. So
Oh, good.
It's amazing
Great
they're
to
so
hear.
close, you know,
Yeah, I know.
but yet so far away in terms of those types of things.
Well, you've put 2 glasses in front of each of us here. What type of wines are we trying here today?
I've poured the Chardonnay, my Chardonnay and my Pinot Noir. So both of these are the 2 biggest planted varieties in Prince Edward County. So pretty much every winery has these 2 varieties.
Okay.
Some have only planted Pinot, but these are the 2 big varieties.
Okay. All right, now what should we, if we go for a taste of this, what should we be looking for in your Chardonnays specifically?
Well, my Chardonnay is an unoaked Chardonnay, so it's more of a Chablis style. It's pretty clean and crisp, lots of fruit in it, so you'll get some lemons, some orange,
Right.
a little bit of pear as well. And then the finish is a nice citrus finish. And there's a little bit of acidity. So all the wines in Prince Edward County, we refer to it as a bit of minerality. So all the
Okay.
wines all have a minerality, and that's due to the limestone soils we're on.
Okay. You mentioned as well unoaked. This seems to be kind of a catchphrase nowadays in Chardonnay. Are more people looking for that unoaked version?
It's really, people are hot and cold on either they love oaked
Yeah.
or they love unoaked, and it's one or the other.
Personal taste.
It
Yeah.
is, and my taste and my wife's taste is really to go to the Chablis style, which is unoaked. We almost are pushing our Chardonnay more towards a Sauvignon Blanc style,
Okay.
which is really quite citrus finish, really quite acidic. And the nice thing about the acidity is it pairs up so well with food.
You know, what's funny is, you know, the acidity, but it's very smooth, too. It
Absolutely.
really is nice and smooth. It's a
So
beautiful
fresh.
wine.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
about the red? What should we be looking for with your Pinot Noir?
So the Pinot, this is
You
a
can
very
smell
nice variety.
Smell it. It's kind of peppery. The
Yeah,
smell.
so there's a little bit
that
of
right?
pepper. This has been aged in French oak barrels for just over a year, so had a little bit of time in barrel. So that Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, they both have affinities for oak if you want to do that. I've done a Pinot in both styles so far. So in 2007, which was the last really hot year we had, I didn't oak my Pinot because it was actually a nice year not to oak a Pinot Noir, which is in some circles is frowned upon.
Faux pas. Oh,
Good for you going
nice.
outside of the box,
I like
though,
it
Rob.
too.
Rob, how many varieties of wine do you have at Sugarbush?
I've planted 6 varieties. I have
Okay.
three reds and 3 whites. I've planted Chardonnay, Riesling, and Gewürztraminer. Those are my white varietals. And Pinot Noir, Cabernet Franc, and Gamay are my red varietals. And when I planted, I planted 9 years ago, and that was at the beginning of plantings in Prince Edward. And at that point in time, everyone was saying, oh, plant Chardonnay, plant Pinot Noir. Well, but no one really knew if they're going to do very well in that setting. I mean, they have done very well, and that's a good thing. But myself, I like to drink more wines than just those two.
Right.
So it's nice to have a variety of things to choose
you
from.
get a sparkle in your eye.
I
when
know.
You talk about
it's
it,
true.
doesn't he? You
It's
really
true.
do, yeah.
Congratulations. What a great success you've
Nice
had
to
with
meet you,
the
Rob.
winery. Really appreciate you coming on the show again. You can find Sugarbush Vineyards at Taste. It's all happening at the Picton Fairgrounds September the 25th. Don't go away. We'll be right back right after the break.
Salute.
Salute.
Cheers.
Cheers.